and I have a wonderful guest to share with you today. His name is Mitch St.Pierre. He is a world traveler, a filmmaker, a businessman, a community leader, and he is currently working in Canada's federal political arena. He's traveled to over 40 countries in his wheelchair by the time he was 28 years old, and he says that has given him a wide world, broad view of the world. And my comment back to him is, boy, travel does that to you, doesn't it? Mitch, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. You have such a unique story, and when you came to me, we had just actually put out a story on SAF, the Society for Accessible Travel and Hospitality, and you wrote to me a little bit about your background, and it was intriguing enough that we just had to get the phone out and give each other a call and find out more, and now we've got you on the show, so I'm excited to really share your story with our audiences. Let's start from number one. You have to go everywhere in a wheelchair, don't you?
Yeah, I bring, it's funny because the wheelchair that I do travel with, it's a little yellow wheelchair that I've been using for 13 years. So it's a pretty durable wheelchair. It's the same one I've had for 13 years. I've had new ones, but I just couldn't get adjusted. I guess it's like when people try to get adjusted to the new shoes. But I just haven't seemed to want to get into the new one yet.
Well, you know what's been so cool about your story, which I think has been intriguing to follow, because on YouTube there's a lot of footage, and we've got links so everybody can go in and take a look. But you're very fluid. I mean, and I guess it's because of your size, but you really go out and do a lot of adventure traveling, don't you?
Yeah, and I guess a big part of what makes it a little easier and less challenging is that because I'm a short guy, that, you know, it's very easy to just pick me up and toss me on a bus or, you know, up a couple flight of stairs or on a train or really anything.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, what I love about it, too, is, and I can kind of see this happening, you know, SAF has not been able to get the name out and the word out as well, and we jump on board it periodically, and I'd love to do more for them, but it's really about marketing this incredible opportunity for people who need accessible travel, and we're talking about destinations and properties, and in fact, Jenny and I we were talking about it, the executive director of SAF, that it is a golden coin for a lot of these destinations and properties to tap into that and let people know that they have an accessible property. Have you found that it's been hard for you to get around, or because you're so easy portable, you haven't had a challenge, or what's it been like for you?
Well, before I actually just met Janie with SAF and people like Scott Rains who are really advocating for the issue of accessible travel. And, you know, it's amazing the stuff that they're doing. And before, I didn't even know that this stuff was, you know, people were working on this issue. So before I was really, a lot of the destinations that I went to were really remote regions of the world. You know, anywhere from, and, you know, I like the adventure too. So, you know, anything from a bamboo train in Cambodia to hopping freight trains in Canada, or, you know, the mountains of Bolivia, or, you know, the Andes, the jungles of Peru and Colombia. So, you know, most of the places I've been to are a little off the beaten track.
Right. You wouldn't expect to see a ramp probably in the jungles of Colombia. How did you do this?
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, even the wonderful thing is that people all around the world are very, very helpful and always so willing to help. And really that's a big part of it, is that I have to rely on the willingness of people to be just the great people that they are. You know, I mean, to get on, let's say, on a riverboat in the Amazon, you know, people have to help carry my wheelchair and myself to get on the boat from a very rocky and muddy terrain, right? Or I remember I was crossing the border from Suriname into Guyana to Suriname, and we're on a little riverboat crossing the river, and just a flood of people just came out to help out, lift me up over the shoulder pretty much, and then other guys to take the wheelchair off the boat to bring us onto the shore. So that was quite amazing, just how wonderful people are around the world.
Well, you really do see the ambassadorship of people and just the love that we all do have for each other. I mean, you see it really time and time. And sometimes, unless you get out there and really travel, you don't really feel that likeness that we have with people across the world. And I can sure see and hear that you've done that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, people I've always been amazed by the, yeah, I mean, and there are the bad people out there as well that you have to watch out for.
Sure.
But for the most part, I'd say 99% of the people that are out there generally have a very good heart.
Absolutely. Well, it's all about keeping your eyes open and keeping an open heart too. Let's talk a little bit about how do you travel? Do you have a team that travels with you?
Yeah, usually I travel with somebody just because and that person's usually a friend of mine, or let's say my brother who really loves to travel as well. I mean, experiences I always think are meant to be shared, and even when I go places by myself, I'm always thinking how much I really want one of my friends to be with me, because at nighttime, you go hang out with at a bar or something. You don't want to be there by yourself or something like that, right?
Exactly. Well, your first film was aired nationwide on the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CBC, and you've also been shown on current television in the United States. Your goal really is to do more films. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, I mean, the film and politics and travel are my passions. And I started getting back into filmmaking this past year and creating more content, and hopefully we'll be doing many more projects in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what I loved hearing from you too was the fact that you have on your radar another film, in Asia coming up this spring?
Yeah, we went to Cambodia last year. We went to go look into this bamboo train in Cambodia, and in Cambodia the train system is pretty much non-existent. They don't have a working train system. So the Cambodians took it into their own hands, and they basically made their own train system out of old tank wheels from the war and bamboo. So it's
innovative.
Their own little train system network that they have going on. And then as well, some of the stories of these people who are living in abandoned train yards and abandoned train, boxcars, literally families just living in these old boxcars.
Wow. Well, you know what? We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back on. We're going to have Mitch continue to share with us a little bit about his life and why he's so excited about regions and what inspired him to get into politics and all of that. It's very interesting. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Travel Talk Radio. My name is Sandy Dhuyvetter. We're going to close out Travel Talk Radio with Mitch St.Pierre. He's with us as a world traveler, a filmmaker, a businessman, and he has gone all around this beautiful world of ours in that one same yellow wheelchair. Mitch, that thing you could never give that up now, could you?
Oh, no, absolutely not. And it's funny because my parents want me to, it's rickety, it's, it's unaligned, nothing really, it's starting to fall apart, but for me, it's something, if the chair could talk, is all the stories that it's witnessed from, trains to crazy places around the world.
Well, I think you should have it bronzed and put it in your office and let people sit in it so that they can feel, that wonderful energy that you felt as you went around the world, and maybe upgrade yourself. You deserve it. But in any case, we'll get to that later. Talking a little bit about politics, you actually work in politics, don't you?
Yeah, I work in federal politics in the nation's capital here in Ottawa, Canada. So it's great. It's a wonderful experience. I love politics, and I'm very happy to be working in it.
You said it's given you a lot of opportunities to meet prime ministers and presidents and many influential policymakers. How do you see that at some point in your life coming together with your travels and, of course, you focusing on human rights? How do you see that all coming together?
Well, yeah, I mean, in politics, there's always opportunities to meet. I mean, I've had a chance to meet with Colombian presidents, even Barack Obama. That was in the United States. But human rights is something that's very important to me, especially traveling around the world where you see firsthand the oppression. Let's say from when I traveled to Burma last year, and that was a major eye-opening. Yeah. Or even when I went to Haiti to see, such tragedy that's happening in these places. And I think politics is really at the center of it, where certain legislative policy can be made to really help those who need it around the world.
If you could have any message for the leisure traveler out there as an ambassador to their country or for their country as they leave and travel about to other cultures, what would that message be as you have actually seen out there as people travel? Is there something that you would leave for them as a travel tip?
Yeah, I mean, and this works for, for people with disabilities, but not only for people with disabilities, but people who are able-bodied, just to get out there and really explore the world. It's such a beautiful place. There's so many wonderful places, people, and things to do all around the world. And, if a lot of people like to go to the resorts, and that's really fine, but, it's always good to get out into the town and meet with the local people as well to really, really get a feel of what that country is really like.
Boy, well said. I can't wait to get you back on. I'm going to get everybody over to YouTube, so we'll put links up at the website and in our newsletter, and all of our listeners can take a look at Mitch's work. Fabulous stuff. I really, really loved it, Mitch, and I really hope that you have and I actually am quite sure you're going to have a great future, not only in filmmaking, but making a difference in human rights issues, and especially in your work in Canadian politics. It's been great to have you. But you and we got to hop on this little, well, it's not little, it's a big train, but we'll kind of do a boxcar hop. I know you're up for this, Mitch. I've seen your movies.
Absolutely. I'm down and I'm ready.
All right, Mitch St.Pierre, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to hop on this train and get out of here, but please join us next for Business Travel Radio, and be sure to check out the website with all the information in the archives. We'll see you next week.